back. So today we're going to be going over the buy, sells, and dividends for the week of October 27th through November 2nd, which is today. So with that being said, let's get it. All right, so we're going to go through every single portfolio here, and I did want to first start with M1 Finance because, again, there is like a security measure that will kick me out of here if I have been idle for too long. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so you guys can see the dividends here. Go back in time, you can see even more from basically the previous week. So as of this week, $20.45 from GSBD. GSBD and TWO, just so you guys know, are quarterly paying dividend ETFs. So we got that one. QYLD is essentially 624. I think they added then deducted by accident and then put the actual amount in here. I'm not sure how that happens, but okay. So $8.72, and again 9 cents from RYLD, 16.10 from TWO, 31 cents from CRF, 49 cents from CLM. I believe these two are actually going to be increasing their dividends starting in January, so we're probably definitely going to pick at least one of these up. So 9 cents for CRF, 60 cents from CLM, 44 cents for SFOL, OPP 14 cents, ACP $30.81. We did tell you guys we're upping some of these dividend paying ETFs. So 4 cents from BSTZ, $18.99 from PDI, $5.27 from OARC, 1 cent from Verizon. We ended up getting rid of that a while ago for profit. TSLY 164.46, and then PFLT 4 cents. All right, so that total comes out to $273.27. Okay, so I'm going to go over, I'm just going to give you guys a quick rundown of the dividends, the buys, and the profits before we go into the rest of the portfolios. Okay, so dividends from Robinhood, we already went over M1. We got $17.40 from TSLY. $23.55 from OARC. GUI was $37.77. YBIT $73.08. YMAG $36.94, I believe that is. YMAX $61.22. XDTE $12.78. QDTE looks like $23.02. And the buys that we did this last week was for GPIQ, which is the Goldman Sachs I forget what the actual name is, the NASDAQ ETF that they do cover calls on. SPYT, so we got assigned 200 shares on some cash secured puts on Soxel. That's actually intentional, though, because Soxel is going to be a core position for income going forward. I'll explain why a little bit later. We also bought some Filecoin, the actual token, and Horizon token. Which I did not write down here, but we'll get into that in a minute. And then in terms of profits, we made $210.39 on SoundHound and $159.27 on Serve. All right, so let's get into the the Grayscale trusts here. Okay, I don't know why it needed to reset. That's kind of annoying. All right, so whatever the case, you guys can see the positions here have not changed. Again, whether we add more to these positions or not, kind of depends on how long the bull run takes, how much time we have to buy, stuff like that. Like I told you guys before, I think the window for accumulation for crypto is coming to a close, okay? I don't think it's going to be much longer before we start seeing the bull run pop off. And, I mean, usually the elections is kind of the signal that makes it happen. So we'll just have to see about that one. Okay, so going over the activities here, and again, we try to be completely transparent here on this channel. Just wanted to show you guys so you don't think, there's like any secret trades going on or not. If there was any trades, we would surely let you know. So the only thing that we got was a cash, basically a dividend received from the SPACs from Fidelity for 43 cents. It's already been added in. And you can see all the different transactions going back here in time. So different positions we took profit on. So on, not much as of lately. So there's that. So now I want to go over to the Webull platform. So Webull, you can see the only position we have as of right now is OARC. And again, I believe the dividends were supposed to be paid yesterday for this one, for this particular week for the Yield Max ETFs, because again, they have different ETFs that pay on different weeks. So with Webull, for some reason, I don't know why, but it generally tends to take at least a couple of days, maybe a few days, depending on what it is that's in the portfolio to actually process the dividends. So you're not seeing it here. But we did the math on it anyway. So basically 84 shares times the current dividend payout. And that total would have came to, looks like $24.10. We also added the SPACs, basically SPACs savings interest into that equation as well. All right, so going over here to the native crypto portfolio. Okay, we're gonna have to give it a second to load. I don't know why it does this. Okay, so you guys can see all the different positions here. It's all still the same, nothing new. We were considering actually adding some Bitcoin, but again, if Bitcoin's going to fly to all-time highs, maybe not quite the best time to buy it. I mean, it's still likely going to go up, probably 150, 200,000, somewhere in there. Excuse me. But again, if we were going to be piling onto Bitcoin, the best time to do it would have been during like October 2022, somewhere in there, where the price of Bitcoin was at 15 to 16,000. So all the positions still the same here. You can see all of them. These are not every single position that we have, but it's a lot. I'll just put it like that. So I'm going to go over here and show you guys the transactions on Filecoin. So you can see we added another 67 tokens here on the 29th. And we do intend to add even more to this in the coming days. So what was the other one here? I think the other one was Horizon. If I told you guys correctly, it was Horizon. So yeah, you can see right here 31.64 tokens on this one. And again, Horizon's previous all-time high was like $170. So it's much higher than what our current cost basis is. So I'm going to tell you guys basically the amount that we have in this, these two positions, not every position, and what our average cost basis is. So we have $5,155 in Filecoin. The average cost basis is $5.90. Which is pretty low. I mean, that's not, this is barely above the bear market lows. So I would say that's pretty much an asymmetrical bet for us. We just simply need an all season to happen, and which in my opinion is pretty much a guarantee at this point. And, of course the price of these tokens will fly to the moon. So next one here, Horizon, $1,350 in total, and the average cost base is $11.26. I'm not going to go over the altcoin charts today, but an $11 HCent is pretty low. I mean, like I told you guys, the previous all-time high was like 160 or something like that. So it's pretty low on the spectrum. So these are of course, the different dividends that were paid out from YieldMax in the last week. You can see here YMAG, YMAX, TSLY, Crash, GUI, YBIT, OARC, Zomo, SNOY, and TSMY. Okay, so excuse me. So going back to the what am I trying to say here? So going back to the Robinhood portfolio, we're going to go over the different positions. So you can see still have a Soxal put for next week. We threw on a couple more Riot call debit spreads. I can't remember if that was supposed to be this last week or not, but you can see them right here. They're basically about $500 a piece, and the expected profit from these is about $60,000 in total. And then of course we have this one right here, which I think is, I can't remember the exact amount, but that was put into it, but I think it's about 6,000 in profit. Okay. So at the bottom here, you can see the shares from Soxal were assigned. Again, I did not know that Soxal was going to drop this much. So, yeah, somehow, okay, that's weird. Somehow we seem to snag Soxal shares at $33.19 a share, but yeah, the strike price for us was 34. So you can see it right there at 34 or 33.50 and 34. So, not sure how we really got 33.19, but hey, I'm not going to be complain about that. I'll take it. So yeah, didn't know it was going to drop that much. Again, we're going into the elections. Am I surprised that there was a drop like that? Not really. There's always some hesitancy from the markets and whales and all that stuff when we get the elections, because again, you guys got to understand the effect of the elections. Basically, there may or may not be policy changes on a grand scale, and market participants are looking at that like, okay, well, if there's going to be a policy change, maybe I should wait and see what happens, right? It just makes perfect sense from a market psychology perspective. So let's see here. So I'm going to go down, and if I can find it here. So TSLY. So $17.40 here. You have to give me a minute on this one, fam. So OARC, next one here, and again, once the Fed cuts rates more, theoretically this should go up because rate-sensitive stocks like ARC and Tesla will likely rise. Okay, so 23.55 here on this one. Next one down here is GUI. As far as I know, actually all of the Mag 7 beat their estimates, so that's obviously good for the markets, right? Let's see here. So 37.77 on this one. See if I can find it. Ybit. I don't know what the heck happened in Ybit with Ybit and the miners on Friday, but they got absolutely decimated after a big green day. So basically, volatility is picking up into the elections. You guys may be surprised, but I'm not. I've seen this countless times. Okay, so 73.08 on Ybit. Okay, so next one here we got let's see, YMAG all the way down here. $36.94. Next one after this is going to be, let's see, YMAX. Okay, so YMAX 61.22, and again, these are weekly. The other ETFs are not weekly, the other YieldMax ones that we looked over, but the YMAG and YMAX are weekly. Okay, so QDTE, and I heard a rumor that Roundhill is coming out with single stock ETFs. I don't know if anybody can confirm that, but if they had an NVIDIA one, I would definitely be taking a look at buying that for sure. So if you guys know anything about that, let me know. So QDTE 2302 here. I did go on to X and take a look on their page to try to see if there was anything there, but I couldn't find anything. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that one. Okay, so XDTE, last one here, 1278. You guys can see all the dividends there. Okay, so now I'm going to go over GPIX, or GPIC SPYT. We were buying SPYT and GPIC on the dip. As you can see, SPYT is down to 1932. Again, not really too worried about this one. I mean, it does generally hold its NAV pretty well. Of course, when the market goes back up, it does also go back up with it. So not really too concerned about that. So we currently have 161 shares on this. The goal is to get to at least 300. So, of course, there's a pending dividend as well, which is great. Okay, so you can see we slowly, and again, we don't want to assume too much here because there may still be more volatility in the coming days into the election. So we're kind of just slowly nibbling away at buying these dips, so to speak. We don't want to be too aggressive. We want to be patient here. So again, 3 shares on October 31st, another 3 shares on the same day, another 3 shares on the same day, and then another 2 shares as of yesterday. SPYT is relatively cheap too compared to the Goldman Sachs ones, so it doesn't cost as much money to buy shares for them. And the share price doesn't really move. It usually stays around $20. Okay, so GPIQ, we've been waiting to get this one, but we just simply did not want to overpay for it, so we wanted to wait until we got some kind of dip, which we did. So 1 share here on October 31st with an average price of $47.75. Again, $47.46 same day, $47.46 same day, and then $47.73 on November 1st. And of course, the price went back up pretty much immediately after we bought. So glad we did. All right, so that covers that. Okay, in terms of the total payouts from Robinhood, $285.76. Okay, so the profits are here. This is the profits, 369.66. Now I want to go over the options. The options are a little bit complicated. So give me just 1 second. We did get out of the Snap long dated call debit spread. Just so y'all know, we have the same issue: $4,000 or $5,000 spikes in either direction. Maybe when we're worth like $500,000, few million, something like that, we can deal with that. But we're still kind of experimenting with that. We took it out for a loss because again, it's we can't have that kind of crazy volatility when we're not able to take a look at the portfolio throughout the day. So the snap position that we opened back in August, we took profit on that. So $462 in profit on that. Trying to see what else we got here. Okay, so the Moderna one, we closed that one for a small loss. So $120 loss, $255 loss on the snap position. We were kind of thinking the snap wouldn't be as volatile as Moderna because again, there's a lot more liquidity on Snap than there is Moderna, but obviously that was a mistake, so is what it is. And also on SoundHound, we had to close that position out for a $740 loss in order to get out of the shares at a profit. So the profit offset the loss somewhat. Again, our expiration was not until December, but we wanted to get out of the position to kind of get ready to pile into crypto. So there's that. And then Serve, of course, we got $250 in premium for SoundHound, but then it cost us $740 to get out. Plus, we made profit on it. Same thing with Serve, $46 in premium. Plus, we made the profit, but it costs $125 to get out. But again, we're only counting this week. So MSTU, we did close that for a $650 profit this week. Keep going down the list here. So let's see here. So Soxel, we opened one on 10/25 last month and closed it, I believe, this week for a small profit of roughly about about $28. And then we opened the shares that we got assigned on Soxel, the 200 shares. So we basically got $85 times one contract and then 77 times one contract for those two before getting assigned. We open up the two Riot call debit spreads. So again, we already talked about this, I believe. So $500 cost on each. The one with the $35 max strike price is a $25,000 profit, and the one with the $40 max strike price is a $37,000 max profit. But again, Riot last cycle went to $80. So could it go to $40? Absolutely. That probably will go much higher than that, especially when Trump gets reelected. Okay, so last cash secured put here is again on Soxel, so $118 times one contract. We opened that on the 30th, and the expiration is on 11/8. So in terms of the total premiums here, $180 for the premiums. Of course, that's the losses or the gains minus the losses. Again, if you trade in futures, this is exactly what your tax form would look like. It's known as a I forget what the tax form is. It's based on 1256 contracts and straddles, but basically it's just your total profit and loss. And then whether it's positive or negative determines whether you pay taxes. If you don't trade for futures, then forget about what I just said. So that's basically, that's what it is. So it's the total profit minus the loss. So plus 180 on that. And then the total for the week, and we'll do a monthly one as well. So 1,132.79. So you guys already saw the stuff on Soxel, so now I can go over the actual contracts here with you guys. So again, I don't know why it's not showing the last one. That's weird. So 77 on the 28th, and then never mind. Okay, so 65 on the 28th, 77 on the 28th, 118 on the 30th. So here's the deal with Soxel, okay? So we eventually want to get to 5 contracts on this. Basically, ever since 2018, this thing has ranged anywhere from $4 up to $79. I mean, the semiconductor AI, all that stuff is only going to become more prevalent as time goes forward because tech will become more advanced. So this theoretically, notwithstanding a bear market or a flash crash, which obviously we already had one of those back in August, should go up in value over time. Okay. This particular ETF is diversified. It's very diversified. It has multiple different companies in it, including NVIDIA, ARM, and some others. It's been around for a very long time, since basically almost the GFC. And it is basically trading within a big range. So it's pretty predictable as to when the best times to get in and out of CSPs and CCs are. So you got support and resistance levels there. So the goal here basically is to have at least 5 contracts of this as a staple for income in the portfolio. So I'm going to show you guys what that could potentially look like. And again, do your research on this one. I'm not telling anybody to buy this. Okay, this is just something we want to do. So at least 5 contracts of this for a core position in the passive income portfolio. So again, you can do this weekly or monthly. If it's something you want to do, it's entirely up to you. So if I were just to do like a 30 delta, let's say, so I go down here to the 30 delta, you can see a massive open interest. Okay, you got 3,000 here, 2,700 here. And again, this is on a weekly basis. There's nothing down there, which is kind of weird, but you got 2,500 there. So you can see it's very liquid. There's a lot of people trading this, okay? So if I go to, let's say, a 32 delta, that may be a bit aggressive. Again, this is a 3x leverage fund. It is a little bit volatile, more than I actually expected. So if we did 5 on a weekly basis, that's $550 a week, okay? That's pretty good. And again, if it was basically 5 every week on a monthly basis, $2,200 based on the current price and the value of the premium. And in the opposite direction for the calls, roughly, again, about a 30 delta. You guys can see that it's still pretty good on the week. So $375 a week. And then, of course, with the whole month, $1,500 a month, that's pretty good. I think a lot of people could pay for a lot of stuff with that. So that's kind of what's going on, what we're thinking with Soxal. Now, just so you guys know, I will let you know this, okay? I will be going to work again this next week. So the content is not going to be out exactly I shouldn't say in real time, but some of the content may be uploaded ahead of time. We went over this with you guys before. There is a channel membership you can sign up for $25 a month. Again, $25 a month is nothing. There's some people that have Patreons that do like $100 a month. If you don't think it's worth it, you don't have to sign up. If you want to, you can. It's there. You just have to go to the channel and sign up. It's a monthly membership. That would give you access to the content early in the event that we have to upload this stuff ahead of time. Okay. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. All right. So anyways, hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.